Hello traders. In this video we're going to discuss how you can use candlesticks in time frame in order to identify the best entries for the setups. So to premise this video, candlestick patterns can be very convoluted and maybe even complicated. However, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep it simple and give you a few tips and tricks on how to use it to your advantage. But we're going to get some foundation first. So first, let's go over some of the basics. So what a candlestick provides, it basically shows you the price movement inside of that time frame of where the candle is. So what that could look like is, so for example, we're on Wednesday, the 12th of February, the 11:30 candle. So if it's a green candle, right, that means that it opened down here at the 600.64 and the candle closed at 603.40. So in this 30 minutes, a lot of price action happened, right? We know that it opened here and it closed here. All right, so let's take a look at that or we'll get into that later. So this is called the candle body. Where it opens and closes is the candle body, okay? And the next thing we need to talk about are the candle wicks. So what the wicks indicate is showing that, so for example, on this bearish candle, that the candle opened here at the top because it's going down now, right? Because it's red. So opened at the top and it closed at the bottom. However, during this half an hour, at one point the price did come all the way down to here. All the way down to here at 600.17. But it closed, it got pushed back up to here at 600.64 just about, okay? So if the candle's green, it's going to go from the bottom to the top. If its candle's red, it's going to go from the top to the bottom. Okay, so another example, we'll use this candle right here, right? The 10 o'clock candle. So the 10 o'clock candle, the bottom of the candle is where the candle opened. It opened at 601.35. In this 30-minute time frame, it closed at 601.48. But also, this candle is very telling because it tells you what happened is that not only did the price go all the way down here and all the way up here, so down here meaning 599.54 about, and all the way up here to 602.34. So it tells you that in this 30 minutes, all that price action happened. It just so happened to open here and close here. Now, this is a significant candle because what this type of candle is called, it's called a hammer candle, okay? So the hammer candle can give you some insight as to what may happen, right? And the reason it's called a hammer candle is because the majority of the body is at the top, for example, on a bullish candle, and bullish meaning going up, and the handle or the wick of the candle, the hammer of the hammer, but the wick of the candle is long. It's long and thin. So what this means, what this is telling you, is that using this wick and this hammer candle is that in this 30 minutes, the price opened up here for this 30-minute window, right? It got pushed all the way down here, all the way up here, and closed here. That's all that's telling you, okay? But if you were to dig deeper, which we are in a little bit, you'll understand how you can use this to your advantage. So, to recap, the candle body is where it opens and closes. So for the green candles or the up candles, it opens below, closes above. For the red candles, it opens above, closes below. All right, they're just the opposite. And what the wick is telling you is that in this time frame, the price also moved to this point and to this point. Or for this candle, it moved from this point to this point, but it opened here and closed here. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. So the wicks can tell you a lot, and we're gonna get into that now. So the wick, let's get into, let's see, we can go into this candle, 10 o'clock. So what we're gonna do is, each time frame just tells you what happens in this time frame, but if you reduce the time frame, it gives you more, it's like looking through a microscope. You can see what actually happened. So I like to use the 5 minute, the 30 minute, and the 1 minute. Or let me go in order. The 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 30 minute. Those are the time frames I like to use based on my trading style. So if we break this down to the 5 minute, you can see that 10 o'clock candle, what happened? It opened. Here, we'll go back and look, and we'll be exact. We will be exact. Forgive me, I don't know why it does this. Alright, for this 10 o'clock candle, this candle goes from 10 to 10:30, right? So we should have a line at 599.67. So I'm going to make another one down here for this one. And we'll put it this color. And at the top. Okay. So this red tells us the bottom and the top. And we know that this is the open and the close. Now let's go into a smaller time frame. So what actually happened, because if you're trading on a smaller time frame, which I do.
Do you not get the concept?
Okay, here we go. 10 o'clock. Right? It opened up here. The price got pushed all the way down to this red. And then it got pushed all the way up here at some point. Okay, but it closed. So the price went, where's this, to the 10:30? All right, 10:30 is right here. So you can see it perfect. The price went from down here to right here. Right? All the way up here within this time frame, within this 30 minutes, but it closed here. It closed on this one because this is the 10:30. So you're seeing inside of the candle, right? So it's like the inception of candles. So how can you use this to your advantage? Here's how. So I like to trade on the 1 minute time frame because it's a little more, it's just what I like to trade on, right? Because I like to scalp too. So in this 1 minute time frame, you can see that, see, look, it hits the bottom, goes to the top, closes it right here. So you can see what actually happens in this candle. And what it's telling you in the 30-minute time frame. So when you see this, here's what it tells you. It's telling you that, oh, forgive me. This candle is telling you that the sellers try to push the price all the way down to this red line, but the buyers weren't having it, and they're like, and they pushed it all the way back up. So what this candle is telling you is that there's more pressure in the uptrend than the downtrend. So whenever you see a candle like this, that should let you know that the uptrend could possibly be on the way. So I can't say definitely for sure, but what I can tell you is that this is a good indicator, or it should, raise some hair on the back of your neck, that the price may be doing something in the upward trajectory because the price is rejecting the down because the buyers bought it back up before the candle closed. So that means when you go down into the 1 minute time frame, you can see this being expressed perfectly. Here, watch. You can see it being expressed perfectly because you can see how all the pressure from 10 o'clock, right? This is where it opened, 10 o'clock. Look how it got pushed up. So it got rejected down here. They're like, no, I don't think so. And they rejected it way back up here. So that's And again, this isn't 100% every single time this is going to happen, but it's like a rule of thumb, right? It's something you can kind of use as an edge as to when to get into a trade, right? So now let's go forward. Let's see how we can, another example how we can use that. So we'll get rid of this one. We'll get rid of that one. And here we go. Now we're in this trade here. And so if you're the 1 minute, if you're in my circle or my Discord, I'll have something probably like this drawn out for you. And then you'll see me draw something like this, right? Something like this. You can go back and check. So what I'm basically telling you is that if the price wants to move up, this is probably the path it's going to take. These flexion points are your best entries. Whenever you see it rejecting or turning direction at these flexion points, those are your best entries. Well, how do you know when it's going to turn? Yada, yada, yada. Here, look. You go into a higher time frame, and let's see what that looks like in a higher time frame. And now look, what do we see? What do we see clear as day? We see this in the 5 minute, we see a hammer candle. So that's one way we can say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is gonna start to head up because we just had, this downward motion. So the market needs to digest that. So look, now we have this same pattern right here. And look what it did. It went up. So this isn't a coincidence, right? Now it's not every single time. It's not going to happen like that. And you have to know how to identify the hammer candle. And it works the opposite in the opposite direction. So for example, they call it a shooting star or an inverted hammer candle. It'll be the opposite, right? So the body will be towards the bottom and the wick will be on the top. And I'll see if we can find, you can kind of see one here. But this is generally how it works. So here's how you use it to your advantage, right? I'm going to draw the flexion points. So one indication of the price turning the other way. Let me go back into the minute. One indication is simply by my drawings, because I'm going to draw it ahead of time. Okay? Another indication is going to be, if you use the higher time frame, we'll go into the 5 minute. When you see that candle, that wick, that strong wick on the bottom, it could mean, it's more likely than not, that it's going to want to head in the other direction, at least for a short period of time. So the reason why this is your best entry is because you have the least amount to lose here, right? You're at the bottom of this purple channel. You're at the bottom. You have some edge now. What's the edge? The wick telling you the direction the price might want to go. And then the confirmation is going to be when it actually breaks at this point, the purple channel. And then look, beautiful trade, right? Beautiful trade. So this is how you combine candles with time frame. Okay? So you have to be, I recommend you adjust, you vacillate through different time frames. I use the 1 minute, the 30 minute, or the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 30 minute. Those are the ones I'm comfortable with because I trade on a shorter time frame because I'm trying to get in and get out. I'm not trying to stay all day. I want to make my money and get out, right? So let's look at another example of, let's see. Okay, here we go. Now another type of candle we want to be familiar with is a momentum candle. All right, so a momentum candle is basically just that. It tells you where the momentum is going to go. So for example, if we use this 1130 candle, this to me is a momentum candle. Why? Because the body of this candle is engulfing the previous candle. So this was a red one, and you see how the body is inside of this one, and this one's much bigger, and it's just a dominant candle. This is called an engulfing candle. Okay, so this is an example of the price going possibly in another direction as well. And as you can see, that played out perfect. So the candle on this one opened here, it closed way up here, right? So that's the close. So on this 30-minute time frame, if you didn't get in around here, around the bottom, if you didn't get in around the bottom, then your next best entry, even though I don't, you know, it's tough to say, but in this scenario, your next best entry would be, I don't know why it looked like that, but it would be right around here after the momentum candle. Now there's going to be a little bit of retracement, but you can see how you can get something out of it, right? It went from 603 to 604. That's a good move. That's a really good move. If you can make that type of money in an hour, that's a good move. Now you'd have to have the guts to hold on for it, because there's going to be, again, a lot of price movement inside of here, and a lot of price movement inside of here, and a lot of price movement inside of here, and you're going to have to know when to take your profit, right? So when to take your profit is going to be something like whenever it breaks this purple line, or we'll color it something else. Whenever it breaks this blue, maybe it's a good time to take profit if you got on the bottom, or if you got in your secondary entry, right? When it breaks this blue, maybe it's a good time to take profit. But if you're in my Discord, you're going to be fully aware of what to look for. You're going to be fully aware of profit target 1, profit target 2. I get into all that. You don't have to worry about that. So this is just a quick short video to explain how you can use time frame and candles to identify your entries, right? What the candles mean and how to use it to your advantage. Because none of this is a secret. You can find all this on the internet. However, I just condensed it down to the portions that we would use inside of my Discord, based on our trading style. There's many other patterns you can look for. I'm sure there's plenty of other patterns you can look for. Red, green, red, 3 candle stack, or, you know, there's many different ones. This is just scratching the surface to give you an idea of what to look for. So when you see these, you understand what they mean. And now you can be prepared for, okay, he drew the inverse head and shoulders here. I see an entry here because of this candle. Or I see it breaking the channel and he drew the shoulder here. Maybe it's a good time. Okay? So if you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up on livespytrading@gmail.com for any questions, or if you want to join the Discord, also it's livespytrading@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up. I live stream every day when I can, so for the most part every day in the morning session, and there's a lot of profitable traders in there. So thank you for your time. Have a good day.